Joby Aviation are so close to getting it over the line with a few updates, so let's talk. Right, guys, my name's Liam, one of the Hustle Brothers here, and yes, we do have a few updates around Joby Aviation. So, we're going to jump straight into it. It is 8 o'clock in the morning here, so forgive me if I run through things a little bit quickly. But, look, Joby came out yesterday and confirmed that the UK CAA, which is the equivalent of the FAA in the US, have came out and more or less confirmed their regulations and the delivery of eVTOLs within the UK system. Now, they've more or less confirmed that we can expect eVTOLs within the UK by 2028. So you will get the Hustle Brothers on one of them. So you can expect a mass rollout of the S4 within the UK by late 2028. And Joby is well positioned for this. We have the likes of Vertical Aerospace within the UK. ACHR will just be getting online around then, so I couldn't expect them being a major player within the UK system. I just think the S4 will saturate the market there. They'll capture the market share. And I think that's the biggest challenge for Joby going forward. It's going to be that mass rollout. It turns into a numbers game. What we can think is, look, what can we expect? Even if they get certified within the coming months, we can expect 50 S4 within the next 12 months. But then after that, I would expect a mass scale up on production. The whole eVTOL industry is going to face a headwind on just trying to get the amount of numbers out required for the demand of these eVTOLs. But look, it's a great challenge to have. Then I want to sort of speak about the eVTOL pilot integration program being rolled out by the US at the moment. Look, Joby are that far ahead now that, look, it's a great thing for the whole industry as such. But I feel like Joby's done most of the hard work right now. So anyone that doesn't know what the EIIP is, it's more or less an executive order that's been signed where the Department of Transportation and the FAA are going to get the infrastructure in place and make it easier for eVTOL companies to complete test flights around cities. At the moment, it's pretty stringent, but Joby would be well placed for this. We've seen they're the only eVTOL company that has completed that many flight tests doing the full transition. We even seen Travis dropped a video the last day of the S4 hovering out in Japan. I did actually see a bit of information go around that Toyota, is it Aero Toyota or whatever they're called, have signed a deal to complete chartered helicopter flights, which is a little bit strange just because that partnership with Joby. But look, it's a different use case completely. Guys, tell me, how many of you are bullish on the Ryder Cup and Blade being the partner there at the Ryder Cup? I think there's around 3,000 people. It'll get some revenue in the door. I don't expect it to be massive. I think I was looking between 5 to 7 million, but all revenue is good revenue. Then we can sort of speak about Uber. I think Uber will be a mass adoption within not just the US, but the UK is quite big on Uber. The European market's big on Uber. Don't know about the Asian markets, but I think Uber could be the game changer for Joby at the moment. And then speaking to some of the ACHR boys, they seem to believe that Palantir seems to be the edge for ACHR. But I don't think it's an exclusive agreement where Palantir wouldn't be able to partner with anyone else. And do let me know, do you believe that Joby could swoop in at some stage and jump on the Palantir bandwagon? If that's the case, they more or less take that edge away from ACHR. Now, look, I think we can't get it twisted. Both ACHR and Joby will be dominant players in. It doesn't matter how bullish you are on each company. I've ran a few numbers, like looking at New York in general. There's 8.3 million in there. We could split that in half and say 50% of them definitely do use public transportation for everyday use, such as going to work, etc. This is not taken into account tourists or transport to the airport, which will get heavy influx in the eVTOL industry. So if you think 4 million, we then could see a 1% capture of that eVTOL market. Look, it'll be, I think at the very start, you'll see a massive injection because people want to start using it. But then, yeah, I'd expect about 1%. That's about 40,000 individual trips needed per day. What could we expect? The S4, I think 18 trips per day per S4 is probably about right. If you do 18 trips, you carry 4 passengers, and this at maximum load, you could expect around 555 S4 required for just New York population alone, not tourists, not transport to the airport, just public use. 555, you think we could expect 50 aircraft per year? You can see how, if you multiply it across the cities, across all continents, you can see how this is going to be a massive numbers game. And would you see an injection from Toyota to try and get more and more manufacturing capabilities out? Do jump into the comments, let me know. And also, smash that like button. We're trying to roll out videos every single day around Joby and ACHR just to push this industry that little bit further. With Toyota, it really does make me wonder, could you see massive injections of capital once we start getting this commercialization green light go ahead? Once we get certification off of the line, there seems to be the only headwind will be the amount of these you can produce. The more of these you produce, the cheaper the whole system gets. But it just feels like the only challenge at the moment will be just trying to get enough of these air taxis out. You don't want to be too diluted with only 2 or 3 in each city going first. You need to just start influx in the city. Think of Lime bikes. Also, do you see the video Reese done about Joby and Uber and explained the whole partnership and where it was going forward? If you haven't, make sure to check out this video next.